Hi friends, I'm Dr. Pratap Sinato. I have done MLA in Forensic Medicine. Today we will continue with sexual offenses. In that we'll discuss about medical aspects of rape. So in that first we'll discuss about false allegations. Many of times it happens that a woman may falsely allege that she has been undergone has sexual assaulted. She may have been undergone sexual assault. She may have had sexual intercourse, but she may claim that it was against her will or against her consent. So it has to be suspected when she cannot describe the assailant because she may tell that she has closed her eyes, or where she tells me that assailant was not a totally stranger or a person whom she can describe in vague or non-specific terms, or where she offers tells that she offered resistance but was forcibly overcome as assailant was large or powerful. And it mainly seen that if she has sexual intercourse with consent without offering resistance, she may claim that she has offered, she couldn't offer assistance because the assailant was for large. She was other by more than one person. Because of that, also she may claim that didn't offer any resistance, or she cannot describe details of consequence of sexual activities to whom she was subjected. She has undergone sexual assault, but she did not have a sexual assault. She cannot describe the sequence of events in which will be subjected. So these are conditions. It has to be suspected that she may have been falsely alleging some case of rape. So evidences which can be obtained in case of false allegations. That is, first, she cannot recall where the crime took place. Even when can recall, the crime scene does not support her story. In the such that there are no footprints or disturbance on the grounds. Damage or clothing will not be correlating with the injuries which she reports. Laboratory findings will not be confirmatory and will be consistent. The lab reports will be unduly delayed because she may not send the reports, or there may be uncertainty about consent, whether she has given consent or not. So in these all cases, in this form, evidence can be obtained about false allegations. In false allegations, injuries will also be typical. Injuries will not be serious and are made either by fingernails or by some sharp instrument. Injuries do not involve sensitive tissues. So usually the injuries in sexual assault usually includes like nipple, genitalia, but where the person is trying to cause damage, she may injure her by using her right hand, catching her in the left arm, forearms. It will not present in sensitive areas like genitalia, nipples, or lips. Location and angles of the injuries will be inconsistent with the defense rule. So usually, the person when try to defend, the certain injuries will be seen, not be seen in the case of false allegations. Hesitation marks may be present. When a person tries to injure herself, many injuries will be present. Those are called hesitation marks. We typically seen when she has been posteririzing some fingernail scrapings. When the fingernail scrapings are taken for examination, sample collection, and sent to FSL, it may reveal that those are of old skin. They're claiming that which will confirm that she is falsely alleging some person. This is one of the cases where false allegations can be proved by examining the injuries, examining the crime scene, examining the history. Next, next important aspect is rape and resistance. So it has to be known whether the victim was able to offer resistance or not. So it has to be known. So it is very difficult to understand whether she offered resistance or not. It's not so to prove that it is to know whether the scene of crime, the build of a person, and build of a woman has to be considered. First of all, it is not possible for a man to have sexual intercourse with a healthy adult female in full possession of senses against her will. So, if a woman is been actually have been alleged to have sexual assault, it is done against her will. It is very difficult to man to have sexual intercourse. It's not possible to have sexual intercourse, and only if she is in full position, in the sense that she is not offering drugs some access there. The woman may not be able to offer marked resistance in form of terror or from an overpowering feeling of helplessness. In this case, also she may not be able to offer resistance, and it also depends whether the woman was how she was raised in our cause cases. she may not be able to offer resistance. And also, if the victim is of means she knows the as a assailant, then also it may be very difficult to resist. Maybe she may be terrified to resist also. When a woman is overpowered by two or more men, she cannot resist much, and marks of violence may not be marked. In this case, also it will not be marked. In these all cases, though she may not have offered resistance, she may have been sexually assaulted. Next is rape under narcotics or during a sleep. So many times it happens that a person may be woman may under the influence may commit sexual intercourse. This happens when the woman is committed without the knowledge of the woman why she is under the influence of narcotics or any form of uh, influence under the influence of certain drugs. Common drugs usually associated with this includes the alcohol, then flunitrazepam, which is also called as Rofinol. This drug is associated with amnesia. So in these cases, the Rofinol is used. The victim will not be able to recall the events of that event. Benzodiazepines, gamma hydroxybutyrate, ketamine, copamine, which are a form of anesthetics. They also is also used from sexual assault. Typical case of a where the woman is under narcotics. Sexual offenders directly mix the drink of an unsuspecting person with sedative drug and sexual assault the victim under the influence of this drugs. So he may take a woman to certain place, may mix her drink with some sedative drugs and make her to drink and take her to some room and have sexual. Usually, if certain drugs like Rofinol is used, victim may lose the memory during and after this instance. There is no drug which can produce immediate unconsciousness. This has to be taken in mind that there is no such a drug that causes immediate unconsciousness when placed in front of the face of the woman. So it is wrongly depicted in social media and TV where the woman is made unconscious just by placing some chloroform in front of the face. It has to be known that there is no such a drug is present which causes immediate unconsciousness. Usually it takes few minutes for a person to go under unconscious under the influence of certain drugs. Also, it is impossible to have a complete sexual intercourse with a woman during her natural sleep without her knowledge. So, with her knowledge only, it can be done, and it may be so. If she is sleeping, it cannot be sexual intercourse cannot be done without her. Next is rape by impersonation of husband. So here the person may impersonate like her husband and claim have the sexual intercourse. This is possible when the woman is sleeping and the person she may think that the person who is having sexual intercourse means her husband. Rarely the victim may be awake but laying in the dark. So in the dark also she may not suspect the person who is doing is her husband. She may think that he is her husband. Then rape by fraud or misrepresentation. So here the accused may falsely have a relationship with the person claiming to be marriage or some any type of agreement, and he may have sexual intercourse, sexual contact. Then he may leave her, and then it becomes like a fraud. It usually comes under 49 to 93 APC. Then child sexual abuse. Here it is involvement of a dependent and the person who is dependent on a guardian, developmentally immature children and adolescents in sexual activities they do not truly understand and to which they are unable to give informed consent or which violates social taboos of family rules. So here the person is dependent or physically developmentally immature and cannot understand the nature of act what is going on and because of that consent cannot be given and which violate the social. They usually include like penile, digital or object penetration. So in these children's mainly some penile or digital penetration is done may also occur like incest, where it is done by father towards daughter, father to daughter, pedophilia, where certain relatives have sexual intercourse with the children's. Exhibitionism, where the adults may try to remove their clothes or may try the children's remove their clothes in front of them to have sexual pleasure, or other forms of deviant sexual contact with all consent has sexual child molesters. This usually leads to physical and psychological or both damage physical and psychological damage to the mind of it. Now coming to certain laws related to sexual intercourse and rape. First of all, we'll discuss with IPCs, that is Indian Penal Code. So first is a 228 AIPC. This mainly deals with uh, that whoever prints or publishes the name or any matter which may make known the identity of a victim of a rape shall be punished with imprisonment of extending to 2 years. So here, any person who try to print or publish the name of the victim, he'll be imprisoned for 2 years. Next is 294 IPC. Here, whoever try to annoyance of others does any obscene act in public or sings, recites, or utters any obscene song, ballad, or words in or near public place shall be punished with imprisonment of 3 months with and with both. So if anyone trying to annoy any person by singing or telling some obscene words or singing uttering some words, and he will be imprisoned up to 3. Then 326 AIPC it mainly deals with voluntary causing grievous hurt by use of acid. Here imprisonment to 10 years, which makes him to life or fine of 10 lakh rupees. Next is 354 IPC. This mainly deals with the assault. So under that, it also comes as a sexual assault. So sexual assault is mainly defined as use of criminal force to a woman with the intent to outrage her modesty. Here the imprisonment to 1 year, which makes sense to 5 years and fine. Under that, there are subsections of A, B, C, D. The A deals with sexual harassment, where the person tries to harass a woman by continuously watching her or sending some gifts, any form which may give torture her. Again, here again, the punishment is on to 1 to 5 years with or without fine. 354B deals with assault or using criminal force to a woman, compelling her to be naked or intent to disrobe. So here the person tries to force her to remove her clothes or become naked. So it is punishment up to 3 years to 7 years. 354C deals with voyeurism. Voyeurism is visualizing the person. So person tries to keep other person. She may when she is undressing or having sexual act, the person will try to see, then gets pleasure from that. Here the punishment up to 1 year, which makes it 354D mainly deals with stalking, where the person tries to follow other girl, try to post some videos or some matter on the social media, or stalks the person continuously from day to night. This is usually punishment up to 3 years. And 493 IPC, which deals with cohabitation caused by a man deceitfully inducing or belief or lawful marriage, punishment up to imprisonment to 10 years. Here, where it also is a form of fraudulent sexual assault, where person cohabitates with a woman, means claiming that he will marry her, inducing belief of lawful marriage, and leaves her. In this case, imprisonment to 10 years. 498 IPC deals with enticing or taking away or detaining with criminal intention of a married woman. So if a person takes a woman, entices that woman, or detains her woman with criminal intentions, then he's punishable up to imprisonment up to 2 years. Then 509 IPC deals with insulting or molesting insult or outraging the modesty of a woman by uttering some words, gestures, exhibits, and objects, intending that such words, sounds shall be heard, or gestures or objects shall be seen by such woman, intrudes upon privacy of such woman, shall be punished up to imprisonment of 3. So if he tries to utter some words or show some scenes which is seen or heard by woman, outraging her modesty or insults the woman, then it is a punishment up to 3 years. So next will certain laws related to CRPCs. CRPCs are criminal procedure code where a person can be how the person has to be taken from arresting to taken to the court of law. So in that first section is the section 53A CRPC. So 53A CRPC defines that the person is arrested on the charge of committing an offense of a rape or attempt to commit rape, and there are reasonable grounds to believe that examination will afford evidence as to commission of an offense. It shall be lawful for a registered medical practitioner employed in a hospital or run by government or local authority, and in absence of such a practitioner within the radius of 16 km from a place where the offence was committed by any other registered medical practitioner acting at the request of police officer not below the rank of sub-inspector to examine the arrested person with the use of reasonable force or so, to summarize it, here when the person is of arrested or accused. So if we take accused means the victim is identified the person is accused, that accused of certain crime like offense of attempted crime, rape, then he will be taken to. Then it is shown that there are some positive findings can be obtained. Certain positive findings can be obtained means he can be examined within 24 hours of within 24 hours of being of that crime. Then any registered medical practitioner, a registered practitioner like government or private only when it is not any government doctor is not available within 16 kilometers of the uh, present scene of crime. Then any private RMP can also examine that person and under the request of police officer who is not less than sub inspector. So any person police officer or above the sub inspector position has to give permission to RMP to examine the person without consent. This is the premise of the 53 ACRPC. So it says that the accused can be examined without consent when order is given by sub inspector to the RMP that the and it is shown that positive findings can be obtained from accused, then he can be examined with reasonable force. Even if it is reasonable force required, he can be examined. Here, consent of the victim is of the accused is not. Then 164 ACRPC. When during investigation, medical examination, victim of rape or attempted rape is done, such exam shall be conducted by an MP employed in government hospitals or local authority in absence of such practitioner by any other MP with the consent of such woman or a person competent to give such consent on behalf and such woman shall be sent to the RMP within 24 hours for time of receiving the information into commission of such offence. So it mainly tells that a woman who is capable of giving consent means more than 18 years of age and she is a victim of appended rape can be examined by RMP with the consent of woman. After getting consent of woman, she can be examined by RMP of government or private RMP within 24 hours of having after the sexual act. 372 CRPC deals with inquiry into trial of sexual assault where it has to be conducted in front of camera. So examination of the sexual victim has to be done in front of the camera to for future safeguarding her findings. 357 CRPC deals with that all hospitals, public or private, whether run by central or state government, local bodies or any other person, shall be immediately provide the first aid to medical treatment free of cost to the victims of any offence covered under 320A, 76, 76A, B, C, D, or subsection E, Indian Penal Code, and shall be immediately informed the police. So it mainly tells that any person who is all hospitals, public, state government, any RMP has to examine has to give first aid. First aid should be given to a woman who is having sexual assaulted and has to be given first aid has to be given free of cost. It has to be free of cost and police has to be informed immediately. This is the summary of 357C CRPC. Now coming to IES, that is Indian Evidence Act. So 53A IEA tells that any proceedings of offence under or for attempt to commit any offence where the question of consent is an issue, evidence of the character of the victim of a such person's previous sexual experience with any person shall not be relevant, or issue of such consent or party of consent. So it mainly tells that a woman who is claiming that she has not given the consent, so she claims that she has not given consent, then it doesn't matter whether she has some sexual experience with other person. So if even she has experience from sexual experience with the other person, even in that case also it is becomes irrelevant whether she has given consent or not. And if she claims that she has not consent, then it will be considered that she has not given consent. 54 IEA tells that in criminal proceedings, the fact that the accused person has a bad character is irrelevant unless evidence has been given that he has a good character, in which case it becomes relevant. So only if the accused has good characters, then the evidence it will be relevantly to is used in the court of law. But if he has claimed that he has bad character, then the evidence is not recorded since it can be claimed to be bad. Next, 114 AIA. In this case, the prosecution of a rape under clause of A to M to clause N of subsection 2 of 370 APC, where sexual intercourse by accused is proved and question is whether it was without the consent of a woman alleged to have been raped, and such woman states in her evidence that before the court of law that she did not consent, the court presumed that person did not consent. So it mainly tells that if the woman claims that she has not given the consent, then it will be accepted that she is not given the consent. Some certain terminologies in case of rape. One is a statutory rape. So it is sexual intercourse with a girl below 18 years of age, with even with her consent, is neither violent nor physically coerced. So any woman who is less than 18 years of age, sexual assault is done with or without consent is considered as statutory rape. Gang rape or group rape occurs when a group of people participate in the rape of a single victim. Each of the persons shall be deemed to have committed the gang rape and be punished as gang rape. Date rape. It is a sexual intercourse with a woman who is given a drink containing some statute drugs like gamma hexabutyrate, ethanol, vitamin, etc. in a party, thought or knowledge, and rape has been committed. Marital rape is a forceful sexual intercourse with a wife who is living separately from his under a decree of separation or any custom. So here, husband and wife are living separately because of some condition, degree of separation, or because of customs. And if the person has forceful sexual intercourse with a woman or consent, it is considered as marital rape. So coming to complications of rape, first of all, first complication is death. It may occur from shock due to fright or emotion or from blood flow injuries. It may also occur because of hemorrhage from the injuries or genital osteopenia or by suffocation where the accused may try to close her nose and mouth. Then there may be mental derangements, conversions, epileptic fits. And psychological trauma will be more severe if the victim knows the rapist and she can't understand whether why she is undergoing a has sexual intercourse was may also disturb the victim's physical, social, and sexual life. One more complication is rape trauma syndrome. It is a form of post-traumatic stress disorder where the consists of behavior, somatic, and psychological reactions. So the victim may not be able to uh, have social life. She will not be able to eat food, and she behavior changes will occur. She will not be talkative, and they closed in a certain room, and social reaction will be present. So this result mainly because of forcible rape and attempt to forcible rape. This is form of stress disorder where she it will be very difficult to come to the condition with rape and the acceptance of rape and overcome that. Some references. Thank you.